I know it's very frustrating for people who feel that they're in an area where, a high-tier area, when there's very little incidence in their village or their area. I totally understand why people feel so frustrated. But the difficulty is that if you did it any other way, first of all, you'd divide the country up into loads and loads of very complicated subdivisions. There's got to be some simplicity and some clarity in the way that we do this. The second problem is that, alas, our experience is that when a high incidence area is quite close to a low incidence area, unless you beat the problem in the high incidence area, the low incidence area, I'm afraid, starts to catch up. So we've got to get the virus down, and that means following the guidance. I think it's true that it's going to be tough for a while, but there's obviously a review point on the 16th. But there really is the prospect of areas being able, as Chris Whitty and Patrick Vallance were saying last night, to move down the tiering scale. And just the most obvious example again is Liverpool, where you saw an area that particularly Liverpool City region had very high incidence of these, really very high. They worked together. They followed the guidance. Plus they did community testing. And you can see actually in the area where they did the community testing, there was the biggest drop of all in the incidence. So I really am optimistic that over the medium term, with these tools, a vaccine plus mass community testing, we have the ability to not just to keep this thing under control, but to help areas to come down the tiers and to open it up. Well, actually, we've got tens, perhaps hundreds of millions of lateral flow tests coming into this country. We already have a huge stockpile. The difficulty is not the supplies at the moment. The difficulty actually is working with local government, local communities to get them doing it. Liverpool really showed the way. We're now looking at Barnsley, Doncaster, other places around the country where they want to pull together and do it. And actually, just now in this lab here at PHE in Porton Down, I've been talking to some scientists who've seeing real progress on a UK made lateral flow test, and we're not quite there yet, but in the months ahead we'll be making them in this country as well. So the supply, I don't think, is going to be the problem. The issue is going to be getting everybody mobilised to understand the potential advantages of mass community testing. The likelihood of a deal is very much determined by our friends and partners in the EU, who there's a deal there to be done if they want to do it, which would, I think, benefit people on both sides of the channel. But let's be absolutely clear: this country can prosper and will prosper mightily in either event. And if we have to come out with a so-called Australian style model, an Australian relationship with the EU, we will make a